So hello and what's up everyone. This is Abik from Bhaktapur, Nepal. Hope so you all are fine. I'm also fine. So today we're gonna talk about express and router. So furthermore, we also gonna revise yesterday's class that we talked about nodejs, npm and http server. Just like nodejs is a server-side scripting language and npm is a package manager from which we're gonna use express or import express and use it in our application. And http server is an inbuilt node.js server. So it is an inbuilt server, and today we're gonna use express server, which is the framework. So we're going to talk about the main contents are express.js, what is express.js and why it is used, and also the express router, or we can also call it as router. So what is express.js? Express is simply a framework which is used in Node.js to build the application, web applications or other applications. So just like we use Laravel in PHP to build applications, in Node.js we use Express framework to build application. So it provides use HTTP utility methods, just like get, post, which we're gonna talk in further initialization, project initialization. So some of the components like items API, kites use express framework in their application. So installation and uses we'll talk just after this. And router is npm library from which we can declare the routes, just like get, post, put, etc. So it is also known as express router in express, but we can directly use express router also, as well as we can import other router and use it in our application. So now we're gonna initialize our project and see what is express and what is router in our application. So first of all, I have a folder named express and router. So inside of this folder, here in the URL, I'll just write cmd to open command prompt. And as I said in the previous video, we have to just write code space dot to get inside the Visual Studio Code. And if you haven't seen the previous video, then I have given the link in the description, you can check it out. So let's go to the Visual Studio Code. So I close this. So now I am inside the Visual Studio Code. So to initialize the project, we have to just open a terminal, or you can just click Ctrl and backtick, which is below of ESC. So I'll just open command prompt. Now the terminal is open. So to initialize our project, we just have to write so to initialize our project, we just have to write npm init -y. This -y does is the s and gives the s to the npm init and initialize whatever it gives. The project structure will be provided by the server itself, the npm itself. So this is the structure of which you can see here in the package.json. Inside of this we can see the ports. And now to run Express or to work with Express, we have to just import Express, or just like npm install Express. So this command will install Express from the npm library. So I'll close this terminal, and here we can see the dependencies with Express, as well as we can make these ES6 modules. Instead of writing require, we just import the packages. So for that we have to just write type is to module. So our main is index.js, and to start we have to just give comma and give a start command, and which executes node index.js. So now we will create an index.js file, index.js. So now, yesterday we talked about HTTP server, so today we will talk about Express. So we have to import the Express from the node modules. Po import Express from, just like this. And to use this we have to initialize this. It is just a function, so we have to give it a name, const app is equals to Express. So now the app works like it works like Express function. So to use it, app.listen, so I'll just listen it in port 8080 or 8082, and I'll just give a callback function which logs server is listening on port 8082. So now we have just imported the Express and given it a const variable, and we have used the functions inside of it, which is known as listen, so which runs our server. So now to run, I'll just open a terminal, and you can just go over here and new terminal, or you can just hit the keyboard like control and backtick. So now npm start, we start the server. So our server is listening on port 8082. So now to provide the routes, this is the Express server, and now to give the routes, you just have to use the routes of this Express. So just like this, app.get, you can simply get the routes from here also, and the callback function which gets the request and sends the response, and we can send the response like as.send, which is hello, our index page. So now this is the index route. So although we can create other routes, app.get, just like slash user and comma request response and the curly braces, the error function, and we send the response like rs.send, and this is user page. So now to check in the browser, so now we have just initialized the routes using the express router inside, which is inside of it. So to check this, I'll just go to the Chrome browser, localhost is to 8082. So we'll just check the index route, and we are not getting the index route. So to so we have changed in this application, so we have to just cancel the application and run the again. So if you don't want to run it again and again, we will just use nodemon, which we'll talk in next video. So just be connected with me. So now I'll just start a server. So now in the Chrome browser, just make it small. Now we can see here, when I hit the index route, I got a response like index page. So you can see, and when I provide a URL like /user, then I must create a response like user page. So and here this is the user page, sorry, and this is the user page. So this is inbuilt express router. So now you can also use the npm package router, npm router, to which I have talked in the presentation. So we can also use this. And so to get the router, we just have to write npm install router. So I'll close this server and start npm install router. I'll just install the router or import the package from npm. So now to use the router, I'll just check it first if it is imported or not. So now it is imported, and to use it, it is a best practice that if you don't use the router over here, you can use inside of this, just like making a new folder which name is routes, and inside of this folder we'll create a new file which name is user.routes.js. So now in this file I'll just import router from router, and now I'll just name it bigger router, and const router is equals to router. So we must have to initialize it first in a variable. So now we can use router dot get. It will be the index route first, and the request and the response, and the callback function which sends the response like hello from user routes. So now I'll just make a copy of this route. So user/add hello from no, I'll just write adding user. So this is the next route. So to export this, we just have to write export default, and which name is router. So we are exporting this router. So now inside of index.js, we will import that router. So import something like dot slash, which gives the parent directory and the routes folder and the user routes.js. So now we have imported the routes, and I will give us a name like a router from space. And to use this, we will just give a app.use and the router name. So I'll just remove this all. So now we are importing router here, or importing this router over here, and using inside of this Express application. So app.use is a middleware. So when the app runs, it imports this all, then it initializes the app, then it uses the routes, and then only inside of this we get the routes. So let's start the server and check it in the Chrome browser. npm start, and in the Chrome browser I'll just close and hit the index route. So whenever I hit the index route, hello from user routes, we are getting the response from user routes. So we are getting the response from the another page, hello from user routes. So, and also when I hit slash add, then adding user, we are getting the response like adding users from here. So this is the Express, and we are using the router from the external library or internal library of npm. So finally, to conclude, today we have talk about the Express server or Express framework, and using in nodejs, as well as we have used a router or to get the URL from the browser. So in the next video we'll just talk about the nodemon, which allows us to restart the server whenever we change anything in our code. Finally, if you found something useful from this video, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you have some questions or comments or feedbacks, then you can just comment below, or send me email, or directly contact me on the Facebook, Instagram. Also, if you want to check my portfolio, then you can go to the link which I have given in the video, or I have given in the description section. So stay cool, stay calm, stay good. Thank you so much for today.